Hey, what's up, guys? This is another tutorial in which I'll show you all how to create appointment booking app along with the admin panel in React backend in Node and front end. We will be building app with that with the React Native. So let's get started. So I will go to the desktop and I will say npx create Expo app appointment, and I will create one directory on the desktop, which is basically to run my Expo app. So this will be my main directory inside of which I will have my backend and the admin panel. So I will try to put everything in the one repo only, just for the sake of simplicity. I don't know, this might be confusing for some of you all, but I will try to explain you all everything. So don't worry about anything. Okay. So let's just wait for a while. It will take a little bit of time for these things to get installed. Uh, but by that time, I will do one thing. I will open my Android Studio. So initially we'll start building the backend first, then we'll go for the app and admin panel side by side. But first of all, it is always better to start with the backend rather than with the front end because front end is in need of data which we will get only from the backend. So let's build backend first, followed by the front end. So let me just create a virtual device so that I could execute my application. So I'll be making use of the Android emulator, and Android emulator is always better. But if you are a Mac user, you can make use of the simulator from the Mac, and yeah, simulator is basically faster compared to the emulator. Our application is ready. So let me just do one thing. I will right click and open this with that of the code. Let me just expand this as of now because where is the appointment? Okay, here it is. First of all, let me just show you the folder structure, how the things will go on. So this is our main directory in which we will be writing the code for our app. But instead of that, we will have the backend also. So I will have the backend inside of this one that I'll create. And inside of this, I will also create this thing, admin panel. Okay, so I will create admin panel with the help of the React. So I will make use of the white. So I will say npm create white, and I will hit enter. So mostly people nowadays make use of the white to create React applications because this is a much better option, and execution everything is faster. Admin panel I will name, but I want it in the React JavaScript. Okay, so this is also there. Okay, so this is our basic file structure in which I will have my Expo directory, and inside of the Expo only I'm creating the backend and this thing admin panel. So inside of this admin panel we have the backend. So I will change the directory and I will go to the backend, and I will do npm init -y, and my whole backend structure will be inside of this backend folder. So you will find everything on one place. So this is right now I am in directory of the backend. Let me just see whether my app is running or not. For that purpose, I have to make use of the Android emulator. It's still loading. It will take a little bit of time. As of now, Expo execution of the Expo is not needed, so we can directly start with the backend. It is not important to execute application right now. First of all, just hit ADB devices to see whether the device is detectable or not. So it is detecting this emulator device which we have. And Just put hyphen hyphen tunnel over here and save and run npm start. Android emulator is always a little bit slow, whether you're opening it on the Windows or Mac. But if you have a Mac, just go ahead with this thing simulator instead of the emulator. Emulator is a little bit slow and it always freezes. I don't know for what reason. You can even make use of your very own device. Just connect it to the USB and go to the development option. Just turn it on, and you can directly execute app on the your phone. When you hit the ADB devices command, there you will see the name of your device from where you can just start executing on your very old cell phone. So that is also okay. But I want to show the screen recording, so I'm making use of the Android emulator so that you can see the output directly on the screen of the Android emulator. So that's why I'm making use of it. So let's just wait for a while because this sometimes this Metro bundle will work, sometimes it won't work. It takes a lot of time. Let me just pause this video. It is saying cannot connect to the daemon, but it should work. Okay, by the time it is running, I will go to my backend and I will create a folder structure. Inside of the backend, we have the controllers. After controllers, I will have the middleware, and beside middleware, I am having the models. Beside models, I am having the routes. After routes, I am having uploads folder. Basically, it is related to the multer. Multer is I'm using multer to upload the images and all. And let me just go to the package.json file over here, and I'm having this index.js, so I have to create index.js file inside of this, or you can even give some other name. You can give the server.js. Make sure that same name you are giving over here inside of this init. Just save it. I don't know what's the issue with the Expo. It is not working properly. Okay, it doesn't matter because as of now, first of all, we'll be building the backend, then we'll go for the front end. By that time, I think it should be fine. Sometimes this Expo creates the issue. Oh, okay, we have to work on the backend. So I'm having this server.js file. So I'll be writing the code in ES6 for that purpose. I have to define the module. Okay, so I will say type as module over here, and after that I'm having this server.js file, and server.js I have to make an import. I will say import express from express. Then I will import Mongoose as well for database, and I will import .env from the .env. So inside of this backend, I will also have .env file to store the credentials and everything. Okay, so this much is fine, I guess. I will create an instance of the application over here, and I will come down below. and I will say app.listen. So this is the port on which my app will be running. I will put port over here and where I want to run my port. So I will say server is running on port whatever is the port. Let me see. Okay, so this macro is still not getting started. So let's just build backend first and then we'll go to the front end. Okay. So I will say node server.js. I'm destroying error because I have not installed the express and everything. So I will say npm express mongoose.env. So make sure you insert this backend directory over here and start writing the code for the backend first, then we'll go for the front end. Okay, so it is looking for the port. So for that purpose, I will go to this port and I will define the port over here. So you can define port as 500 or whatever that is, and there will be some other credentials which we can keep inside of this, which we will see afterwards. So port is not identifying. This is because I have made use of the env file and I have to configure that .env. So I will say .env.config. As long as you're not doing this, it will not detect the env file. Port is not defined. So I have to define the port. So I will say process.env port. That means pick up the port from the env file, and if it is not there, then 5000 will be my default port. Okay, so yeah, so my server is running on the port of 5000 now. So this is working fine. So now I'll do one thing. I will create one more route. I will say app.get, and inside of this app.get, if the route is forward slash, then I will say request response dot send. I won't say hello world. I will say appointment backend is running. Okay, so this is like a kind of get request, you can say. So I will come over here and I will hit the localhost 5000. Localhost 5000. It should give me the data actually. See, it is saying appointment backend is running. So now one thing what you can do is just shut down the backend and do npm inodman, and instead of doing this, write start script over here and say nodman server.js. Okay, so if your server is crashing or whatever happens, or if you want to restart the server, you don't have to stop it and rerun it. You just it will be taken care of the nodman. Okay, so just hit npm start, and now nodman will take care of that. Okay, so now nodman is running. So this is fine, I guess. So now let's do one thing. Let's go to the models and create some models. So when it comes to this models, ours is appointment booking system. So first of all, I will have the user.js. Then after that, after user, I will have the appointment.js. After appointment, I will have the clinic.js, doctor.js. Okay, so these are the four models which I will have. And when it comes to the users, let's do one thing. I will say import mongoose from the mongoose. This is the first thing which I will import, and I will destructure from the schema and model from this mongoose. Okay, so mongoose, this is fine. Constant user schema is equal to new schema. I will declare the new schema over here. It is giving me some code by default. So it will have the username, password, email, and these all the fields. Then I will say constant user is equal to model user schema, and I have to export it. Okay, export default user. So from all these field, these are auto-generated by the code, but I will be in need of the username, password, and role only. So username, password, and role. I will command this. I am having the username, and the role I will have the role is of type string. Required is equal to true, and then I have the enum, and enum is basically it will take some predefined values, and it will be either the user or super user or admin. Okay, so username, password, username, role, and password will be there. Okay, so after that I will comment out all these other parameters which are not required. Appointment. So I'll go to the appointment. This code will be required. Okay, so it is still suggesting the previous code, but I won't be making use of that. This is the appointment schema. So yeah, our appointment schema is ready, and when it comes to the appointment, we'll have some parameters. First is name, type stream required true, so this is fine. Second is phone number, type string required true. Third is clinic, so clinic which I will create. So when it comes to the clinic, the type is not string over here. Type is basically the schema, okay? So it's this clinic schema which I will design after it. Schema dot types dot object ID. So it is like this, and then it will have the ref of clinic. Okay, so whatever is the name of your clinic model that you have to give, required is equal to true. Selected service I have, and over here, let me just modify this. It's for selected doctor, and ref will be same type object. Yes, selected doctor. Then we have the date. Type will be date required is equal to true, and I'm having the time slot. Type string required true. Beside that, I have the selected service over here. So when it comes to selected service, it will be type string required true. Okay, so this much is fine, I guess. This many parameters, and the name of the model is appointment. After that, I have the clinic. So when it comes to the clinic schema, clinic will basically have the name. It's type string required true. After that, it will have one. It will have one image. Type string required true. And description is there. Type string required true, and then I will have the services. Services basically I will have in the form of an array. Okay, so there will be multiple services. So I will have the array, and instead of that, I will have the object of it. Okay, so I think this much is fine. 4 parameters only is enough, I guess. Then having the doctor's parameter, doctor's model over here. So doctor will be almost same to this only. So I'll copy this and I will say doctor schema. So I'm having this doctor schema. It will have the name, image, description. It will have, and it will not have this services. It will have the clinic. Okay, so clinic is basically over here. I am giving the reference to this clinic. So over here, type is basically schema dot types dot object ID. Okay, so I'm trying to give the reference to it, and it will refer to the clinic required is equal to true. Okay, so I'm giving the reference of the this clinic over here. Okay, so I'm giving the this model reference. Why it is showing a red? Okay, it's fine now. Okay, whenever you copy paste the code, make sure everything is properly fine, because sometimes we forget to change the code. Okay, here see it's a single object, it's not a array. Okay, so our models are ready, and next what we have to do is we have to create the routes. So inside of this route, so first I will have the route for the user route, user routes.js. And have the doctor route, user route, doctor route, and I'm having the clinic routes. And I'm having the auth routes for authentication purpose. And next I will have the appointment routes. Okay, so these are some of the routes which I will have. So first of all, let's do one thing. Let's go to the auth route, and instead of this auth route, I will try to create the routes for the authentication purpose. So first of all, we have to import the express, and constant route is equal to x express.router. We will create the instance of the router over here, and route.host. I'll give the name of the route. So if you want to create a super user, this will be the route. And if you want to create a normal registration, then this will be the route, and this will be the route for login. Okay, so these are some of the routes which I have declared over here. So now I'll do one thing. I'll go to the controllers, and inside the controllers, I have to define the controllers for these routes. So what I should do when these routes occur. So I'm having these controllers, and I have the auth controller.js. Instead of the auth controller, I will define the routes. So first of all, let me declare the route for the registration purpose. I will say register user over here, and it's the async process, and it will have the request and the response parameters. So this is basically the arrow function over here. So when it comes to the registration user, I will be sending the username, password, and the role from the front end side. So I will destructure it. I will say username, password, and the role, and I will take this from the request.body. Okay, so I will take this and I will make you the try and catch block over here. So when it comes to the try and catch, if there is any error, then I will throw that error. Okay, so response was speed is 400, and whatever is the error, I will just throw it. So this is the route which I'm declaring for the registration of the user. So I will do one thing. I'll go to the user routes, sorry, auth routes, and I will import it, and I will put it over here. Okay. So now when it comes to these routes which I'm declaring over here, I have to export them. So I will say export default route over here, and whatever routes I'm exporting it from here, I have to import them inside of this server. So I'll go to the server.js, and these are my routes. So these are my routes over here. So I will say import user route from route.user.js. Okay, so this is the import which I have made. So now what I have to do, I have to just come down below, and over here I will say app.user. I have to define the route. Okay, so it's a /API /users, and then I have to give the name user routes. Okay, so this much is fine. So over here, I have to do one thing. I have to define the Mongo URI as well. Okay, so I will say Mongo URI process.env.mongo URI. So I will just pick up the Mongo URI from my env. Okay, so I go and put this close here. It is throwing error. I am importing this. Okay, so I have imported from the wrong place. It's a auth. Okay, so this much is fine. Now I'll be in need of the Postman and MongoDB, Mongo Compass, sorry. Copy this Mongo string, come over here, paste it over here. Instead of the localhost, put 127.0.0.1. Okay, so it is always better to put IP and then give the name of your appointment application. Okay, you can connect. It will connect to the Mongo. Give the name of the connection and okay. So now our MongoDB is also ready over here. Error has also gone. So where was I? User route, sorry, auth routes and register the user. Okay, so I was creating the route for the registration of the user. So I will catch all these parameters and I will make you try and catch block over here. So first of all, I will check if the user exists. Okay, so exist user. So I will make use of the await user.find and I will try to check whether the user already exists with the name of the username, and if the user exists, then I have to throw this error that user already exists. Okay, so this is how it works, and after that I'll do one thing. I will create a new user. I will give the username as this, role as this, and when it comes to the password, I have to hash the password. Okay, so for the hashing the password, I will say constant salt is equal to, I'll make use of the await command over here. I'll make use of the bcrypt.gensalt and give the number as 10. Higher is the number, more it's a complexity. I will say constant hash password is equal to await bcrypt.hash and first parameter will be my password and this password, and second will be solved. Okay, so it will create a hash and whatever is the hash we will store that as a password over here. I hope this is clear. And once the user has been created, I will say await new user dot save. So this is our registration route. Why it is showing red over here? Oh, it went. So now our application is running on the localhost 5000. So I will say create new request over here, and this is basically to register the user. So I will copy paste it over here. This is the post request because I'm trying to create a user, and I will copy this path. And after this user route, I will go and copy this register. Okay, so what I'm trying to register, I'm trying to register the user with username, password, and the role. So click on body, raw, and JSON. Give some username. I'll give the name as Akshay, and password will be 12345, and I will hit it. Okay, so we encountered some error. Username is undefined, it is saying. So let me just go to the controller. Cannot destructure, but I'm sending the username from here. I guess there was a spelling mistake. Let's just hit and see. Still it is showing the error for the username. Wait, let me check. Let's try some other way. This shouldn't create an issue actually, but I don't know what's the issue. Let's just give it a try this way. But I have declared the username. Still it is giving the error. I have to figure out what's the issue. Okay, I think some issues there in this file. So let me just go to this server.js. I have not set middlewares, nor have I set this MongoDB. So let me just do one thing. So let me just set the middleware. I have to say the app.use express.json. So basically, I'm sending this JSON data. So I have to use this express JSON, otherwise it will not work. And there are a few other things which I have to use over here. So I will say express.url encode it, and inside of this, extended is equal to true, I will say. And once this has been done, I'll make here the course, and this is done. Then I will say mongoose.connect. I have to connect to the MongoDB, and here's some of the options which comes with Mongo, which I have to just say. Now just as you can see, still it is not working. Course is not defined. Okay, so npm I course we have to do because I'm making use of the course over here. Import course from course. If you're not understanding what am I doing over here, just go and watch the previous tutorials in which I've explained in detail all these parameters. Okay, so right now since I've already explained and not paying much attention, Nodman is not recognized. Node1 I've already installed, but why it is throwing this error that Node1 is not recognized internal external error. npm start. Now what's the issue? Okay, user is not defined. User, at least it is hitting the URL. User is not defined. User, okay, so I have to import this Mongo user. So when it comes to this Mongo user, you have to import it. And then it will throw the error for the big crypt also. So I have to import the big crypt as well. I have to install the big crypt. So bcrypt package is basically used for hashing the password because we directly can't save the password the way it is in the database. We have to hash it. So we will be making use of the bcrypt for that purpose. That's all. This time everything is fine. It should work. Let me just hit it. Now what happened? Bcrypt and salt is not defined. This shouldn't be happening. User already exists, it is saying. Let me just go to the appointment. Let me just delete it. I will delete it again. Okay, actually, our request is getting created, but the thing is that we are not sending any response. Okay, so response status 200, user created. So now it will send a response because we are not sending the response only. Okay, so user created. Thank God, at least one route is working fine. Now we can do one thing. We can just start creating the other routes like for login and everything. So export constant login async function. I will create. I will say request response over here, and yeah, again the try and catch. If there is any error, then I will throw the error response to status 500, and I will take the username and password first. I will check whether the user is there or not. I'll find a user with the user name, and if not user, I will say user does not exist because we are trying to log in. And if the user is there, if user is there in the database, then I will make use of the await, and I'll basically make use of the bcrypt over here because bcrypt.compare is basically used to check the password. Okay, so over here I will make use of this password. I have to compare. Okay, it was fine only, I guess. I just simply removed it. I have to compare both the password whether they are same or not. Okay, so I will do that. And if both the passwords are same, then I will say user logged in successfully. But for that purpose, I have to generate a token for the logged in user. So I will say constant token is equal to generate token. And for generating token purpose, I will be sending this user. Okay, so I will send this user inside of this function generate token. But now when it comes to generate token, I have to define this generate token. What is this? So I will come up here. I will say constant generate token. I will take the user over here. So I will say constant token is equal to jw.signin, and I will pass these parameters. JWT sign in I will do, and now for this JWT I have to import this as well. I will make use of JSON wrap token over here. Okay, I think I have to install this package as well, otherwise it will throw error. Yep, it has. JSON web token, and once the user has been logged in, I have to send this token as well. Okay, so this is the message, and this is the token which I will send, and I will do the npm start to restart my server. Okay, let me just do one thing. I will duplicate this route and I will try to log in. So username and password is required. What is the issue actually? Okay, so I have to import that. So where is this auth route? Secret or private key must be value. Okay, so token secret you have to put, you have to give some secret over here. What is the issue? I've given the secret also, but still. Okay, so user is able to log in, user login successfully, and this is the token which we will get in return. Okay, so these two routes will be enough. If more routes are needed, we will do that in the near future. So first of all, these two routes will be enough, I guess. But if you want to create for the super user and all, you can do that also. So this much is enough for this tutorial. In the next tutorial, you will see how to create other two routes and other functionalities. Thanks for watching.